I was just about to buy a 250 yuan fruit basket to visit by Ningbing. Suddenly, comments began rolling across my vision. Wow, the heroine's childhood sweetheart is back in the country. She came up with this amnesia trick to escape that old man. First, she'll pretend to have amnesia and break up with him. Then she'll get together with her childhood sweetheart. The old man will go mad with jealousy. He'll willingly hand over his entire fortune, all to make the heroine regain her memories. What do you think? Will the second male lead realize the heroine is faking her amnesia? No. The heroine got her best friend to help. They'll definitely keep it perfectly hidden. I knew it. I was still 2 years away from turning 30. I had to be the old man they were talking about. But what the comments didn't know was this. I was tired of the poor, pretty campus belle. I had been looking for an excuse to dump her, and she had just handed me the perfect one. I immediately messaged the heroine's friend, whom I'd coveted for a long time. I've had a crush on you for a long time. 500,000 a month. Be my girlfriend. Are you in? She replied instantly. Big brother. 100,000 is enough. 500,000 is too much. I wouldn't feel right taking it. Later, her friend and I fooled around until midnight. Then we heard the heroine wailing outside the door, utterly heartbroken. Big brother, I've regained my memories. If you'd only turn around and look at me once, I'd give you my life. Her friend glanced toward the door and curled her lip in disgust. All you ever give me is this worthless junk. In the 3rd year of supporting by Ningbing, I was starting to grow tired of her. Her delicate face had lost its luster. Her aloof nature had become impossible to handle. With time, my idealized dream girl had finally evolved into a clingy freeloader. Love in this world always ends in the same place, no matter how it begins. Coldly, I rubbed my temple. Then I pulled my phone from my pocket. She had been with me for so long. After all, even if I sent her away, I'd give her enough money to ensure by Ningbing never had to worry about survival. I had just found her number when she called me first. Hello, is this Fang Yuan? My little freeloader had never spoken to me so politely. I asked, puzzled. Ningbing, what's wrong? What happened? She cut me off impatiently. I was in a car accident. I suffered a head injury and lost my memory. My memory has gone back 3 years. Right now, I only remember Wang dating. As for you, I deleted you for now. I was about to ask another question when she hung up without hesitation and blocked my number. She left me standing there, stunned. A moment later, a spending alert from the supplementary bank card suddenly appeared on my phone. It was from a private hospital. The amount wasn't large, nothing like the cost of emergency treatment for serious accident injuries. My little freeloader had lost her memory and hurried to delete me, her boss, but hadn't forgotten to keep spending with my card. I was both shocked and worried. I immediately went out and bought a 250 yuan fruit basket. Then I drove to the hospital listed in the alert. The moment I got out of the car, a dense wall of comments suddenly rolled across the sky. The amnesia plot has begun. The heroine is so clever. Her childhood sweetheart, the male lead, is back in the country. She wants to rekindle their old romance. She used a minor car accident and suddenly had a brilliant idea. She came up with this amnesia trick. The second male lead has always acted superior and thrown his rich boy tantrums. Only after seeing the heroine forget him will he regret everything. To restore her memories, he'll spend a full year groveling at her heels. He'll squander most of his fortune. Yet our heroine still won't spare him a glance. She'll turn him into a lovesick dog. The second male lead has such a terrible temper. I still want to see the leads have a sweet romance. Please, old man, get out of the way already. With a sharp clatter, the 250 yuan fruit basket hit the ground. I bought the fruit too soon. Judging from the information in the comments, I seemed to be this world's second male lead. My purpose was apparently to become a lovesick fool. The moment I heard the heroine had lost her memory and forgotten me, I'd hand over my entire fortune to her, just to make her remember me. With that much money, I'd turn the heroine from a poor girl into a female CEO, and I would die amid jealousy and resentment. A miserable death in a tiny rented apartment, bringing my arrogant, overbearing life to a supposedly perfect end. But I didn't love by Ningbing as much as the comments claimed. Why would I willingly hand over my entire fortune for her? Besides, I was incredibly rich. So, what if I had a bad temper? At most, she was a temporary employee, not a suitable marriage match. While I provided her with money, was I also expected to provide emotional support? I strode into the hospital. A young nurse led me straight to the ward. Through the glass in the thin door, I clearly saw the smug look on Bai Ningbing's face. My childhood sweetheart is back in the country. That's why I came up with this amnesia trick. It'll let me get rid of Fang Yuan for good. Shang Xinci, you have to help me keep the secret. My gaze naturally shifted to Shang Xinci. This was her friend. Bai Ningbing had casually mentioned her a few times. I had added her on WeChat, but we'd never spoken. Compared with Bai Ningbing's frail figure, Xinci had the fiery, untamed allure of a wildcat. Her stunning figure was impossible to miss. Her healthy complexion struck me right in the heart. My face and ears grew hot as I stared. I fell head over heels. With such an amazing friend, Bai Ningbing had hidden her from me for 3 whole years. She really was a shameless freeloader. Inside the ward, By Ningbing frowned impatiently. Did you hear me? Shang Xinci's cool voice drifted over. Aren't you afraid this will backfire and Fang Yuan will never speak to you again? A confident smile appeared on By Ningbing's delicate face. You don't know. That old man is madly in love with me. The moment he heard I'd lost my memory and forgotten him, who knows how heartbroken he is right now. For a while, he'll probably try every way he can to win me over, clinging to me relentlessly. How could he dare ignore me? Unfortunately, I hate his spoiled rich boy attitude. Wang Dating is much better. He's gentle and considerate. That's what a real man should be like. No wonder By Ningbing was so confident. 3 years ago, I happened to attend a speech at my alma mater. When I spotted her in a grove dappled with shadows, I stopped her and asked directly, will you be my girlfriend? By Ningbing knew I was the only son of the Fang Group's owner. At just 25, I already had a fortune worth 10 billion. She hurriedly nodded. Of course, I've stayed single all this time, just to wait for you, big brother. Her words were coated in honey. Back then, she never once admitted to having a beloved childhood sweetheart. During the 3 years we were together, I spoiled her with everything I had. If she so much as glanced at something expensive, I'd eagerly place it right in front of her. I was like an ancient aristocrat spending a fortune to pamper an opera performer. What I treasured was the performer's proud, coy attitude. But even the best meal becomes tiresome eventually. Inside the ward, By Ningbing looked up impatiently again. Shang Xinci, once Fang Yuan learns I've lost my memory, he'll definitely come looking for you. He'll beg you to help restore my memories. Whatever you do, don't let it slip. The moment she finished speaking, just as she wished, I, newly fallen in love, pulled out my phone. Then I found Shang Xinci's contact. I've taken a fancy to you. 500,000 a month. Be my girlfriend. Are you in? The comments began rolling even faster. What is the second male lead doing? Why would she ever fall for him? Heck, he's pulling back to reel her in. That trick is painfully unoriginal. I can't wait. I want to see the male lead return and rekindle his romance with the heroine. Just wait. The male lead is coming back tonight. In the small ward, a phone chimed. Shang Xinci glanced at WeChat and widened her eyes. A faint blush quickly spread across her cheeks. By Ningbing noticed the phone's chime as well. Certain of victory, she looked at Shang Xinci and said, it must be a message from Fang Yuan. I blocked his number. He wouldn't dare contact me on WeChat. He's afraid of angering me, so he can only contact you. Well, is he terribly worried about my injuries? Did he contact you to ask how I'm doing? Shang Xinci instinctively turned off her phone screen. Then she hid it behind her back. Then she forced out an indistinct yes. By Ningbing became even more convinced that everything was under control. Her voice was light and cheerful. All right, I have to pick Wang Dating up at the airport. If I wait any longer, I'll be late. I quietly left the hospital. The moment I stepped out of the outpatient building, a message arrived on my phone. Big brother, 100,000 is enough. 500,000 is too much. I wouldn't feel right taking it. Compared with By Ningbing, Shang Xinci was clearly much better suited to this line of work. I hurried back to the villa. I called for Mrs. Wang and pointed to the south-facing bedroom upstairs. Clear everything out and throw it away. Mrs. Wang stared at me in surprise. Mr. Fang, this is Miss Bai's room. Do you really want everything inside thrown away? By Ningbing had lived in my villa for 3 years. She'd been treated like royalty and never lifted a finger. Even Mrs. Wang, who had raised me, had cared for her with utmost devotion. But now that she'd lost her memory, she must have forgotten the way back to the villa. Out with the old, in with the new. It was time to bring someone new in. My voice rang out, leaving no room for argument. She won't be coming back. Clear everything out and throw it away. Over the past 3 years, I'd bought By Ningbing far too many things. Her amnesia was nothing more than a spur-of-the-moment idea. Using a car accident that had barely injured her, she'd suddenly thought up this scheme. She hadn't had time to remove any of her belongings. The servants worked until late at night, before finally emptying the bedroom. Valuable or not, everything was thrown away. The comments had begun to shift their allegiance. Mrs. Wang, stop. That's the latest designer dress. Give me the address. I'll go pick it up. There are limited edition earrings and that mountain of skincare products too. Oh my god. I want to go pick them up too. Young master, I understand exactly how this game works. Please give me a chance. I have to admit, the second male lead is loaded. Didn't you all come to watch the lead's sweet romance? How did you get distracted by the second male lead's money? That last comment was swallowed by the flood of messages. 8 hours after By Ningbing lost her memory, I'd cleared out every single one of her belongings and thrown them out of my world. Now my world was empty. All it lacked was the company of someone dear to me. Just as I was about to message Shang Xinci, she sent me a video first. In a dimly lit private room in a bar, By Ningbing was leaning against a young man's chest. She said tenderly, Wang Dating, if Fang Yuan hadn't come between us back then, we would have been together long ago. According to By Ningbing's version of events, I was an irredeemable old man. After setting my sights on a young heartthrob, I'd used money to tear the lovers apart. When By Ningbing refused to submit, I'd found a way to force her out of school. For the sake of her future and her childhood sweethearts. Bai Ningbing had swallowed her humiliation and agreed to be with me. But I clearly remember that 3 years ago, in that grove, her face had lit up with delight when she heard my confession. If she told me back then that she loved someone else, I never would have wasted my time on her. There were plenty of pretty girls from poor families like her, chasing after me, whether they wanted my money or my power. Every one of them would swear on their lives that they loved me for myself. What they loved didn't matter. I only cared about what I could get. I glanced at the drinks on the table in the video. There was a bottle of Hennessy worth hundreds of thousands. During my relationship with Bai Ningbing, a bottle like that was nothing more than a casual indulgence. I could open as many as I wanted without batting an eye. But now, she'd lost her memory and cut ties with me, her boss. She barely had any money of her own. Although I was generous with gifts, I rarely gave her cash. Not giving her money was the best way to keep her obedient. The only thing Bai Ningbing could use was the supplementary card in her hand. I promptly canceled the supplementary card and told Shang Xinci, "Get home and rest early. I want to see you tomorrow." Bai Ningbing was hazy with drink. In the 3 years she'd been with Fang Yuan, this had been her most carefree day. She no longer had to carefully pander to him or let him lord it over her. She was a person too, with her own dignity and self-respect. A woman's pride was higher than the heavens. How could she let a man crush it? Fang Yuan would never learn how to please a woman. Wang dating was much better. He knew how to make a woman happy. After they'd had enough to drink, the next step was obvious to them both. They were tinder and flame, ready to ignite. After Shang Xinci glanced at WeChat, she left first with a strange look on her face. Only the two of them remained in the spacious private room. Bai Ningbing rested her head on Wang Dating's shoulder. "Tomorrow, I'll take you shopping at a luxury store. I'll buy you a few of the latest watches." The excitement in Wang Dating's eyes was almost tangible. "Really, Ningbing? You don't need to spend so much on me. What's the big deal? My room is so full of luxury goods. There's barely room to stand. I could throw them all out and replace them with a whole new batch." The comments began flooding the screen. "Heroine, your room has already been completely cleared out. Only the load-bearing walls are left. How annoying. Why won't the second male lead follow the plot? My heart hurts. I really want to go pick up everything Mrs. Wang threw away. Oh no. The heroine is about to pay the bill. What will she do if the supplementary card doesn't work?" Bai Ningbing waved over a server to pay the bill. After she handed over the supplementary card, the server soon said awkwardly, "Miss, this card has been locked. Why don't you use the primary card? Or try another one?" Bai Ningbing's call came completely out of the blue. I was on a video call with Shang Xinci when it abruptly ruined my mood. I answered irritably. Bai Ningbing's furious voice came through. "Fang Yuan, why did you lock the supplementary card?" I calmly glanced at the number. "So now you've decided to unblock me?" "I locked my own supplementary card." "What does that have to do with you?" "You locked the card. What am I supposed to use?" "Oh, what are you to me? Why should you use my card?" That one sentence silenced Bai Ningbing completely. She fell silent. If she admitted she was my girlfriend, it would expose her amnesia as a lie. But if she denied it, how could she keep showing off her wealth in front of her childhood sweetheart? I left that thorny problem for her to solve. After a series of evasive noises, Bai Ningbing snapped angrily. I was planning to recover my memory soon, but now that I think about it, there's no need to hurry. HMPH. She hung up first. That's right. No need to rush the memory recovery. Let the second male lead worry himself sick. Don't worry. Once the second male lead sees the heroine in the arms of her beloved childhood sweetheart, he'll be more desperate than anyone. My heart still aches. So many wonderful things ended up in the trash. Enough already. You above. When the second male lead can't stand it anymore and tries to restore the heroine's memory, he'll spend any amount of money on her. I stared at the comments in confusion. Why were the comments inventing so much drama for the heroine? When did I ever say I cared whether the heroine remembered me? In the past, when I went on dates with Bai Ningbing, I usually chose upscale restaurants and bars or hotels. But with Shang Xinci, I chose the foot of a mountain. Now, dressed in sleek athletic gear, I carried a fully packed backpack and looked up at the towering mountain. Excitement filled my eyes. Xinci was a little shy as she carefully offered, "Big brother, let me carry your backpack. Don't you think you'll get tired?" "Not at all. Even if I had to carry you to the summit, I wouldn't feel tired." Her ears burned bright red as she said this. I gently pinched her earlobe. "If you don't know how to say sweet things, then don't." She lowered her head and added softly, "I was afraid you wouldn't like me anymore. That's 100,000 a month. I have to make sure you feel you're getting your money's worth." Shang Xinci really was in excellent shape. By the time we reached halfway up the mountain, I was already panting with exhaustion. Shang Xinci, carrying both backpacks, was still breathing evenly. Seeing that I was out of strength, she took the backpacks from me without a word. Then she sat beside me while I rested and handed me water, wiping the sweat from my brow. As I watched her focused expression, I felt her faint, delicate fragrance lingering around me. A scarlet beauty mark was indeed more alluring than a clingy freeloader. As the sky grew dim, Shang Xinci and I reached the summit. I pointed at the backpacks. Let's set up the tent. Shang Xinci jumped. Big brother, are we staying here tonight? What? You don't want to? I frowned. Did my little wildcat not want to sleep in a tent outdoors with me? I didn't like forcing people into anything. I immediately pulled out my phone and played a ringtone. As soon as I stopped it, I pretended to answer a call. Xiao Huo Huo. What's wrong? What? You were run over by a 100-ton truck. I'll come to the hospital to see you right away. After ending the call, Shang Xinci hurriedly said, No, that's not it. I was worried you'd think the tent was too shabby. So I asked, I really do want to stay outside with you. Shang Xinci was getting anxious. Sweat dripped from her temple down her cheek and slipped into the cleavage hidden beneath her t-shirt. She was young and candid. Her affection and anxiety were written plainly across her face. At 24, she was vibrant and full of life. Every emotion showed plainly on her face. Then hurry and set up the tent. It'll be dark soon. As for Xiao Huo, the man supposedly run over by a 100-ton truck. He's fine, just superficial injuries. He can buy some iodine disinfectant and apply it. It's nothing serious. Shang Xinci eagerly began putting up the tent. I sat nearby, munching on washed fruit. I glanced over as the comments began scrolling again. The second male lead and the second female lead make a pretty cute couple. How could they be sweeter than our male and female leads? Their love has been such a rocky road. At last, they're finally about to get their happy ending. Look, the heroine told the hero that her home was a villa in the suburbs. She's about to take him home. The hero's eyes are practically sparkling with delight. Isn't that villa the second male leads? The heroine has lived there for so long. What's wrong with calling it hers? Of course, there's a problem. I own this villa, and I don't agree. I immediately called Mrs. Wang and instructed her. Mrs. Wang, delete by Ningbing's fingerprints. Then give the villa staff tonight off. Send all the servants home to rest. As the car drew closer to the villa, Bai Ningbing still wore an excited smile. The suburban villa was lavishly decorated. Letting her childhood sweetheart stay there for one night would be incredibly impressive. The luxury car stopped outside the pitch-black villa. Wang Dating was overjoyed. Ningbing, this is your home? Bai Ningbing nodded proudly. She thought that when she saw Fang Yuan later, she absolutely must not acknowledge him. She would make him see just how much she loved her childhood sweetheart, until jealousy drove him mad. The admiration in Wang Dating's eyes was almost tangible. I've only been abroad for 3 short years. How did you become so rich? Bai Ningbing didn't answer directly. Instead, she said meaningfully, there are plenty of things you don't know. Just as she stepped forward to scan her fingerprint beside the villa, Mrs. Wang appeared, looking thoroughly impatient. Holding up a set of car keys, she said coldly, this car belongs to our young master. It's being reclaimed now. You'll have to take a taxi when you leave. Then she climbed into the driver's seat of the Rolls-Royce and drove off without another word. The car sped away, soon vanishing like a phantom. Wang Dating turned pale with shock. Ningbing, someone just drove your car away. How did she have your car keys? Bai Ningbing's face turned as red as blood. She hastily came up with an excuse. She's our housekeeper. She hasn't been thinking clearly lately. Just ignore her. I'll fire her tomorrow. Let's go home for now. With that, she pressed her finger to the scanner. A cold mechanical voice rang out in the silent night. Fingerprint error. Just as the tent was ready, my phone rang at the worst possible moment. It was Bai Ningbing. In a single day, she had already unblocked me twice. I was like a little marmot, darting in and out of her blacklist. I was holding Shang Xinci in my arms as we admired the mountains under the night sky. So I didn't answer. But the ringtone sounded like a summons from the grave. It kept ringing relentlessly. It was unbearably annoying. When it rang for the 7th time, I finally answered. Bai Ningbing's hysterical voice came through the phone. Fang Yuan, why did you delete my fingerprint? I asked, puzzled. Who is this? The agitated voice suddenly fell silent. After a long pause, she ground out through clenched teeth. I'm Bai Ningbing. Oh, so what? What is our relationship? Why should my villa have your fingerprint registered? I threw the question right back at her. Bai Ningbing seemed determined to keep pretending she had amnesia. After bottling up her fury for a long while, she forced out, fine. We have nothing to do with each other. When we meet again someday, don't regret what you've done today. After throwing out those words, she angrily hung up. I let out a mocking laugh. I'd been with her for 3 years. I was already sick of her. What made her think that simply seeing her would make me fall in love with her? The comments began scrolling across the sky. They condemned me for saying one thing and meaning another. Second male lead, stop making trouble and treat the heroine properly. Maybe she'll finally see your good qualities and come back once her heart softens. Once you truly see the heroine's sweet love for the hero, you'll die of jealousy. Don't be fooled by the second male lead's current interest in the heroine's sister. That's only because he hasn't seen the heroine being sweet to another man. Exactly. The heroine is much prettier than her sister. The comments didn't understand. In terms of looks, Bai Ningbing was indeed a little prettier than Xinci, but I'd already been with her for 3 years. Even the prettiest face would lose its novelty after being seen every day for 3 years. Besides, Bai Ningbing had a terrible temper, and nothing about her made me want to stay. My taste had changed. I no longer liked haughty women. I only liked fiery little wildcats. I reached out and hooked a finger beneath Shang Xinci's chin. Tonight, let's see how you perform. Shang Xinci froze and shyly recoiled. I frowned again. Was she rejecting me? I still didn't like forcing anyone. I pulled out my phone and played another ringtone. I couldn't even be bothered to pretend to set an alarm. I pretended to answer a call. Xiao Huo Huo. What's wrong? What? You just escaped being crushed beneath a 100-ton truck and then got thrown more than 300 meters by a tractor trailer? Stay where you are. I'll call an ambulance for you right away. Big brother. I wasn't saying no. I only meant that this place was too rustic. Are you really planning to sleep in a tent instead of lying in a clean bed at a 5-star hotel? It was obvious that Shang Xinci was genuinely anxious. She even took my hand herself and refused to let me misunderstand her again. The suggestive thoughts in my mind immediately took over. What's so special about lying in a bed? In a person's lifetime, nearly half of it is spent lying in bed. Skipping it a few times won't make any difference. This place is wonderful. It offers not only primal passion, but also romance, poetry, and a world beyond. Only then did Shang Xinci relax. After hesitating, she asked, "That's good. By the way, what about brother Xiao Huo, who was hit by that tractor trailer? For such a minor injury, he can get up and walk to the hospital himself. At most, they'll give him 2 boxes of cephalosporin. He's being dramatic. It's just a minor injury. Yet he still had to bother me. The night breeze was gentle. I lost myself in the pleasure Shang Xinci gave me. After we were both drenched in sweat, Shang Xinci's phone rang. Her voice was still husky with the aftermath of passion. Bai Ningbing heard it clearly on the other end. Sorry, Shang Xinci. I interrupted your fun. If you know you're interrupting, you should hang up right now. Bai Ningbing was taken aback by the retort and said resentfully, I'll keep this brief. Tell Fang Yuan that tomorrow I'm taking Wang Dating to a luxury store to buy a watch. Let him know where I'll be. Once he sees me speaking sweetly to another man, I don't believe he won't panic. After Shang Xinci hung up, she looked at me pitifully and nuzzled into the crook of my neck. Big brother, are you really worried? I lovingly stroked her slender waist. With you here, how can I possibly worry about her? I'm just curious. Where is she getting the money to buy luxury goods for her childhood sweetheart? In the past, I often took Bai Ningbing shopping at luxury stores. I'd buy myself a few watches and pick up some necklaces and handbags for her as well. Early that morning, the sales associate called me enthusiastically to tell me that the store had received several new models. I eagerly took the cable car down the mountain and told Xiao Huo to hurry to the store. I held several globally limited edition watches, admiring them endlessly. As I examined them from every angle, the comments reminded me the second male lead really did come to the luxury store to wait for the heroine. I knew it. The heroine lost her memory. How could he not be worried? Saying one thing and meaning another. The second male lead will definitely try to win the heroine's favor by offering to buy her a mountain of handbags. Here they come. The heroine has arrived with her childhood sweetheart. I glanced over my shoulder. The amnesiac heroine was holding her childhood sweetheart's arm. As they entered the luxury store intimately, the comments revealed last night that the two of them had failed to get into the villa. Faced with her childhood sweetheart's questioning gaze, Bai Ningbing racked her brains before coming up with a flimsy excuse. The front door is broken. I'll find someone to fix it when I have time. To reassure her childhood sweetheart, she offered to take him shopping for luxury goods that day. Wang Dating didn't suspect a thing. The two had already been in love with each other at university. When I asked Bai Ningbing if she wanted to be my girlfriend, she had nodded eagerly. She abandoned love and chose money. Heartbroken, Wang Dating promptly went abroad to study. He was gone for 3 years before returning. With time, what had once been a passing fling became the one irreplaceable love in Bai Ningbing's heart. She was willing to abandon everything to be with him. The luxury store wasn't large. Bai Ningbing spotted me immediately. A confident smile spread across her face. Fang Yuan, I don't remember you at all. No matter how much you chase after me, I don't even want to look at you. Wang Dating looked me up and down several times, then pulled Bai Ningbing closer and said smugly, Brother Yuan, I heard you used to be Ningbing's boyfriend. Unfortunately, she lost her memory in a car accident. She forgot you completely. Now she only remembers me. No matter how unwilling you are, Brother Yuan, there's nothing you can do. These two were unbearably noisy. I simply pointed at the limited edition watches and the necklaces I'd chosen for Shang Xinci and said gently, please wrap all of these up. Bai Ningbing snorted with laughter. Fang Yuan, I've forgotten you completely. Why are you still clinging to me like glue? Do you think buying me a few necklaces will win back my heart? Wang Dating is the only one in my heart now. No matter how shamelessly you chase after me, I won't spare you a second glance. The watch in my hand was the latest model. Wang Dating's eyes lit up at the sight of it. Ningbing, I like this watch. The sales associate gave him a cold, distant smile. I'm sorry, sir. This watch has already been purchased by Mr. Fang. Bai Ningbing glanced at my expression and raised her chin slightly. How about this, Fang Yuan? Give the watch to Wang Dating, and I'll consider taking your number off my blacklist. But don't push your luck. The person I love will always be Wang Dating. I was the one who spoiled her into becoming so arrogant. I like seeing someone act arrogant because I had the power to take that arrogance away whenever I pleased. The feeling of having everything under my control was what I liked most. Bai Ningbing didn't have much money. Even if she maxed out her credit cards, she couldn't pay for a watch costing nearly $1 million. The reason she dared to stop me here was that she hoped my jealousy would lead me to please her by offering to cover all her and her childhood sweetheart's expenses. I rolled my eyes at her. At last, I asked what I really wanted to know. Bai Ningbing, when did I ever say that I cared about your lost memories? Can your memories send my stock price soaring or solve my company's problems? Bai Ningbing stood there stunned. She frowned instinctively and murmured, those were all the little moments from our 3 years together. It was nothing but eating, drinking, and having fun. If it's forgotten, so be it. What's there to miss? Without you, couldn't I eat, drink, and have fun with someone else for 3 years? Exactly. Without you, nothing would stop me from eating, drinking, and having fun with Fang Yuan. Bai Ningbing shook her head firmly. Impossible. I don't believe you don't care about those 3 years. You pretend not to care about me, only because you want to keep me by your side, don't you? That day, Wang Dating still didn't get the watch he had been dreaming of. After Xiao Huo and I left, Wang Dating picked up an expensive watch and looked expectantly at Bai Ningbing. Bai Ningbing had planned to grit her teeth and buy one, but the sales associate coldly informed them that the watch was out of stock and only the display model was left. You could look at some other items first, such as fly swatters, globes, and mahjong tables. The implication was that they had to buy additional items. Bai Ningbing was startled by the exorbitant price of the required purchases. Her nearly empty wallet couldn't fake wealth no matter how hard she tried. She had no choice but to grab her childhood sweetheart's hand and flee. Then, she deliberately updated her social media feed. She had blocked my phone number, but kept me on WeChat to show off on her feed. She posted an update. After all our twists and turns, you're still my whole world. It featured a selfie of her and her childhood sweetheart. The two stood in the revolving restaurant on the top floor of a shopping mall and posed with their arms around each other. But in the photo, Wang Dating, who had his arm around Bai Ningbing, looked miserable. At university, his family had been about as well off as Bai Ningbing's, and he hadn't had much money. Studying abroad had drained his family's savings completely. He had returned home, intending to find a wealthy partner. Bai Ningbing had disguised herself so convincingly that Wang Dating believed his former childhood sweetheart had transformed and entered high society. But after being back for 2 days, the promised luxury car, mansion, and designer goods had all mysteriously vanished. He simply couldn't force a smile. The comments began complaining too. What's going on? In the original plot, weren't the male and female leads supposed to be sweet as honey every day at this point? Why are they arguing? How could they not argue? They were supposed to stay in a mansion, but they couldn't even get through the door. They had to make do with a cheap hotel for the night. Wang Ma drove away the luxury car, leaving them waiting for an hour, before they finally found a taxi willing to take them. Not to mention, they couldn't buy even one watch the hero liked. In the original plot, the second male lead was hopelessly lovesick. He insisted on throwing money and luxury goods at the heroine and begging her to change her mind. But now the second male lead isn't bending over backward to please her. The male and female leads are the poor students who only recently graduated. Where will they get the money for romantic dates? Now the second male lead can see the heroine's social media post. If she posts every day, won't the second male lead soon be consumed by jealousy and beg her to recover her memories? I'd rather watch the second male lead with the heroine's sister, the young master, and his little wildcat. I love that contrast. I read every comment carefully, then glanced at the plane tickets I just bought. Shang Xinci was in excellent shape. She could carry the luggage and walk 3 miles without even getting winded. With a physique like that, it would be a waste not to take her on a hardcore overseas trip with a military-style itinerary. The comments had barely finished scrolling past my eyes when I saw that Bai Ningbing had updated her feed again. She was clearly determined to flaunt her romance in front of me. She had posted 2 electronic tickets with the caption, "Taking my beloved to the amusement park to fulfill a promise we made when we were young." The 2 tickets together cost just over 900 yuan. Just then, Shang Xinci came over and hugged my arm, swaying it back and forth. Big brother, you still haven't posted me on your social media feed. She sweet-talked me until my head was spinning. I took a picture of our intertwined fingers and posted it on my feed, with the caption, "The Maldives. Here we come." The plane landed smoothly at Valana International Airport. I looked at Shang Xinci with satisfaction. She really was my little wildcat, always full of energy. After such a long flight, she was still skipping along. After we checked in, Shang Xinci finally took out her phone and discovered dozens of missed calls. Her WeChat messages were also coming in like a bombardment. At first, Ningbing was still somewhat patient. "Sis, did you see Fang Yuan's post on his feed? He wanted to make me jealous, so he found some woman I don't even know and went to the Maldives with her just to show off. Heh. Do I look like someone who'd fall for that? Why aren't you answering? I can't reach you by phone either. Where are you? Anyway, has Fang Yuan contacted you to ask about me?" Just as she reached the last message, Ningbing's call suddenly came through. "What is it? Has Fang Yuan contacted you these past few days?" Shang Xinci turned slightly and glanced at me before answering truthfully. "He contacts me every day." She wasn't lying. I really had contacted her. Ningbing instantly relaxed when she heard that. I knew it. Fang Yuan still has feelings for me. All these schemes were just his way of making me swallow my pride and come to him, weren't they? How could someone with amnesia like me possibly make the first move? Unless he showed sincerity, admitted his mistakes, and apologized properly, and changed his arrogant rich boy attitude, I'd never speak to him again for the rest of my life. I let out a quiet laugh. That Ningbing immediately picked up on. "Why do I hear a man beside you? His voice sounds familiar. Is he the same man as last time?" "Yes, he is. You two are so romantic. Always stuck together. Where are you enjoying yourselves now?" "The Maldives." "What a coincidence." Fang Yuan also said he went to the Maldives. "Keep an eye on him for me. See whether he's with another woman." Shang Xinci and I explored beaches of every size across the Maldives. At sunset, she walked hand in hand with me across the soft sand and asked curiously as she watched a group of divers nearby, "Big brother, do you want to go diving later?" She was the one who wanted to go, but Shang Xinci understood her position perfectly. No matter how much I indulged her, she always remembered who she was. Whenever she saw something she liked, her sun-kissed face would turn slightly pink with shy embarrassment. Then she'd cautiously ask whether I liked it. If I did, she was like a child who had been given candy and would jump for joy. If I found it boring, she would quickly look away and put my wishes first in everything. Shang Xinci rarely acted like Ningbing, looking down on me and ordering me around. I followed her gaze toward the group nearby and said, "Come on, let's give it a try." Happiness shone from every corner of Shang Xinci's face. After we prepared our diving gear, she held my hand and carefully descended into the water. Countless damn shellfish swam all around us, while, miraculously, the livestream comments scrolled through the seawater too. Thanks to the second male lead, I finally got to see what the Maldives looked like. Why is nobody watching the male and female leads anymore? What's so interesting about them? They argue about money 3 times a day. When they went to the amusement park half a month ago, they got up early to walk around the lake. The heroine couldn't even afford a fast pass ticket. They waited 3 hours for a single attraction and made the hero so furious that he walked away. As soon as Fang Yuan reclaimed the apartment, their sweet romance turned sour. I'm still thinking about the luxury goods Wang Ma threw out. Come on, bro. Be generous. Wang Ma only threw them out 17 days. And 15 hours ago 19 high-end designer dresses and 12 pairs of haute couture heels, along with 6 diamond necklaces. See? I can't remember any of it. Look, the male and female leads are arguing again. Ningbing clutched her maxed-out credit cards as a sharp pain throbbed through her head. Before they got together, Wang Dating had been the love of her life, the person she most longed to see whenever she woke from a midnight dream. But after only half a month together, the man of her dreams had turned into a clingy burden. She had never realized that dating Wang Dating would cost so much money. She understood even less why a watch had to cost so much. She had maxed out to credit cards, and in the end, all she got in return was the watch on Wang Dating's wrist, a plainly made timepiece. That wasn't even the latest model. Now she couldn't take out another penny. The French meal before them was expensive. After a long hesitation, Ningbing finally summoned the courage to say, "Wang Dating, you pay for this meal." "Why should I pay? You were the one who asked me out. When have I ever not paid when we went out? Why should you pay nothing?" Their voices grew louder and louder. People around them began casting strange looks their way. Ningbing's face instantly burned bright red. "Ha! If you didn't have money, you should have said so. Why pretend to be rich when you're not? Who was it that boasted to me about having a villa and a luxury car? And what happened? You're staying in the cheapest hotel, taking taxis, and unable to afford even a single meal. Is this your idea of a rich lifestyle? Laughter erupted around them. Wang Dating slammed down his chopsticks and walked away without looking back. Bai Ningbing wished she could crawl into a hole. She regretted it. She never should have given up her comfortable life for love. Sitting in the heavily air-conditioned restaurant, Bai Ningbing took out her phone, her hands and feet cold. She found Shang Xinci on WeChat and typed and deleted her message repeatedly. Finally, she gathered her courage and sent a WeChat message. Sis, did you run into Fang Yuan in the Maldives? Was there another woman with him? The other person took a full half day to reply. There was no one beside Fang Yuan, except me. Bai Ningbing's heart finally settled. Fang Yuan definitely still had feelings for her. During all his days in the Maldives, he must have clung to Shang Xinci every day, while searching for a way to restore his memories. As soon as Shang Xinci and I got off the plane, we saw the livestream comments packed so densely they left no gaps. How did the hero break up with the heroine? I didn't see even 1 minute of their sweet romance. The heroine regrets it. She's planning to find the second male lead and tell him that she has regained her memory. I declare that the heroine is now the second female lead. Fang Yuan and Shang Xinci are the new leads. Thanks to the two of them, I feel like I took a trip to the Maldives too. I just can't get enough. Look, Bai Ningbing is waiting outside the villa for the hero. At that moment, I was driving Shang Xinci back to the villa. Heavy rain poured outside the car windows, accompanied by flashes of lightning and rolling thunder. Just as the comments had said, from far away, I could already see, outside the villa gate, a figure crouching beneath the eaves. The comments had mentioned that ever since Bai Ningbing broke up with Wang Dating, she had waited outside my villa almost every day for me to return from the Maldives. Counting today, she had been waiting outside the villa for 13 full days. When the familiar license plate entered Bai Ningbing's view, by the light of the headlights, I could clearly see the excitement and anticipation in her eyes. I got out of the car with an umbrella and frowned at her. Fang Yuan, I have good news for you. I've recovered my memories. That dreadful news reached my ears and sent another sharp pain through my head. Who even cares whether she has amnesia? Ever since she lost her memory, I never once said I hoped she would regain hers. Not once. Bai Ningbing seemed possessed. She insisted on believing I treasured those 3 years with her. Whether you've lost your memory or recovered it, what does that have to do with me? Why keep chasing after me to say it? Amid the lightning and thunder, I clearly saw Bai Ningbing's face turn deathly pale. She shook her head vigorously. No. Fang Yuan, you must still love me. I've regained my memories. Let's go back to how we were. Can I be your girlfriend again? I stared at her in surprise. When were you ever my girlfriend? Fang Yuan, we were together for 3 years. Didn't your phone list me as your girlfriend? I pulled out my phone and shoved it in her face. Look closely. Your contact name is kept woman. Bai Ningbing's expression changed instantly. Her lips moved soundlessly. Only after a long moment did she manage a smile. Fang Yuan, I know you're angry that I forgot you when I lost my memory, but deliberately changing my contact name can't hide the fact that you love me. Besides, there isn't another woman by your side. Isn't that proof you love me? Shang Xinci calmly got out of the passenger seat. Bai Ningbing hurried over. Shang Xinci, please talk some sense into Fang Yuan. He's just too shy right now to admit that he loves me. He's been in the Maldives for so long, yet he hasn't had a single woman beside him. As her voice slowed more and more, Shang Xinci naturally slipped her arm through mine, as though Bai Ningbing were invisible. Brother, you must be tired. Let's go inside and rest. Bai Ningbing staggered and nearly fell. Lightning illuminated her increasingly ashen face. In disbelief, she pointed at Shang Xinci. You two? What is your relationship? Shang Xinci smiled like a victorious general. I told you, in the Maldives, there was no woman beside Fang Yuan, except me. Bai Ningbing's expression became a kaleidoscope of emotions. Anger, despair, and pain blended into a hysterical scream. Shang Xinci, I treated you like a sister. How dare you take advantage of me while I had amnesia? Bai Ningbing charged forward angrily. Shang Xinci raised a hand and caught her by the wrist. What do you mean, take advantage of you? You were with Wang Dating, so Fang Yuan was single. What's wrong with me being with Fang Yuan? Besides, did you really lose your memory? Guiltily, Bai Ningbing avoided my eyes. I just, she stammered, unable to finish. I had never cared whether Bai Ningbing had lost her memory. I had just gotten off the plane and was still tired. I waved tiredly. Enough. I don't care whether you've lost your memory. I just got off the plane, and I'm tired. I'm going home to rest. Oh, right. Shang Xinci, when we have time, let's take a trip to Hawaii. Shang Xinci's eyes lit up, and she nodded enthusiastically. Bai Ningbing was left standing there. Her lips trembled. She seemed to have only just accepted that her friend had taken her place as my girlfriend. The rain grew even heavier. Fang Yuan, we were together for 3 years. Why did you never take me anywhere? Why did we always go to hotels instead? She asked pleadingly at last. I raised a finger to my lips and gestured for silence. Your only worth was in hotel rooms. For romance and adventure, I had someone else in mind. The villa gate shut by Ningbing's voice outside. Through the vast curtain of heavy rain, I could clearly hear her piercing cries. Fang Yuan, I was truly wrong. Please turn around and look at me. I give you my life. Her cries were filled with genuine emotion. I knew by Ningbing understood the importance of money. But in her plan, she thought this memory loss scheme would win her both money and love. Her appetite was too large, so she was destined to get nothing. Xinci curled her lip in disdain. All she offered were these worthless things, as though her life were worth a fortune. Xinci, move in tomorrow. Xinci froze and hesitated for a moment. I frowned. Was she refusing again? There was no point forcing someone. This time, I didn't even bother waiting for the phone to ring. I simply picked up the phone and put it to my ear. Hello, Xiao. What is it this late at night? What? You fell into the sea. Don't panic. I'll head out to sea and rescue you right now. Brother, I was only afraid that moving in would disturb your peace. I'll move in. I'll go pack my things right now. The tip of her nose was barely a centimeter from mine. Her warm breath brushed softly across my face. You're not forcing yourself. Not at all. It's late. Move in tomorrow. Let's get some sleep. Okay. Xiao is still drifting at sea. But what's the big deal? He can swim 3,000 miles to shore. It was barely a handspan on the map. Yet he had to call me. Xinci nodded sullenly. Then she leaned close and whispered, Brother, I'll agree to anything you say from now on. Just please don't mention Xiao again. You don't understand. That's just how we are. As if to prove my point, a call came in as soon as I finished speaking. It was Xiao's girlfriend. Brother Fang Yuan, Xiao said you have a high fever. He went to the hospital to see you. Is that true? Is that why he couldn't come pick me up? I immediately lowered my voice and answered as though I were half dead. Yes, my fever is so high I can barely speak. Xiao went downstairs to buy me a late-night snack. I'll have him call you when he gets back. Don't worry. He still loves you. Outside, the rain continued tapping against the glass. Yet the comments along the horizon grew fainter and seemed ready to disappear at any moment. All right. Another male lead has escaped the plot without becoming a lovesick fool who squanders his entire fortune and turns himself into a stepping stone for the story. Same as always. In the next book, make the opening comments harsher. Reveal the tragic ending sooner. Then the male lead might finally find the resolve to change. This little world is all sorted out, brothers. Let's go to the next one. By Ningbing's perspective, I moved into a cramped little attic, freezing in winter and sweltering in summer. Ever since I met Fang Yuan, my life had changed beyond recognition. For those 3 years, I never had to worry about making ends meet or run around exhausting myself for a little money. Those warm, comfortable, and prosperous days made me miss Wang Dating's tenderness terribly. This love I yearned for day and night took root over the course of 3 full years, until it grew into a towering tree. It drove me to take a dangerous gamble and pretend to have amnesia. I foolishly thought I could have both money and love, but I never expected Fang Yuan to discard me so decisively and turn to choose Xinci instead. I didn't understand. I was prettier than Xinci. Why had Fang Yuan chosen her? After spending half a month in that tiny rented room, penniless, I could only go out and find work. Thanks to my fairly attractive face, I got a job as a waitress. The restaurant was on the top floor and was a favorite dining spot for countless wealthy people. Once, I had been one of the people sitting here and enjoying myself. Now, I could only carry trays back and forth between the tables. In my 3rd month on the job, I unexpectedly ran into Fang Yuan again. He was still as confident and charming as ever, incomparably better than Wang Dating, who had climbed the social ladder by attaching himself to the wealthy. The man I once adored had become a clingy burden, while the man I had once taken for granted had become precious to me again. Xinci was still by his side. The awkwardness of meeting them made me turn away, afraid to approach. I watched another server approach respectfully with a menu. Xinci took it and ordered several dishes. I scoffed. The dishes Xinci ordered weren't any of Fang Yuan's usual favorites. I didn't believe someone like her could stay by Fang Yuan's side for long, but I never expected to hear Fang Yuan's delighted voice. Xinci, how did you know these are my favorite dishes? You mentioned it before, brother. So I remembered. I'm happiest when I'm with you. Unlike certain people before, who came here and ordered only what they liked. They never remembered my taste. My heart trembled, and only then did I suddenly realize that when I used to be with Fang Yuan, whether I ordered or he did, we always ordered what I liked. I didn't dare go near them throughout the entire meal. Not until they finished eating and prepared to leave did I finally gather all my courage after hesitating for a long while and step forward to call out, Fang Yuan. He turned and looked at me. I gazed into his eyes expectantly, hoping he would say that he still thought about me, or that he still loved me. But he merely curled his lips and glanced at me. Then he left me with a few pointed words. Who are you? I only lost my memory a few days ago. People who were unimportant in the past